Every evening at sunset, the Indian government closes the gates to Bhangarh Fort, and anyone who steps inside after dark never returns. This is the story of the weeping ghost Bridand, the curse that destroyed an entire kingdom. Bhangarh Fort sits on the edge of the Sariska Tiger Reserve in Rajasthan, India. During the day, it looks like any other ancient ruin, a magnificent skeleton of a once great kingdom. It looks peaceful, until you learn the government itself had to put up a sign. A very official, very serious sign warning people not to enter after sunset. This isn't because of wild animals, like the tigers that roam the nearby reserve. It's because the locals, and even some government officials, believe a powerful curse still lives and breathes inside these walls. For centuries, the fort was a thriving capital, home to over 10,000 people. It was a place of vibrant markets, grand palaces, and towering temples. But today, it's silent. The air is heavy with a sense of loss and an unsettling stillness that even the chirping birds' cooing seem to break. Locals whisper stories, passed down through generations. Tales of unexplained noises, apparitions, and a feeling of being watched. They say that at night, the fort transforms. The ruins come alive with the ghosts of its tragic past. The government's warning isn't just a suggestion. It has a plea to respect the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead. The legend, the one that chills everyone to the bone, starts with a princess named Ratnavati. She was the jewel of Bhangarh, famed throughout the land for her unparalleled beauty and grace. Her reputation was so great that kings and princes traveled from the farthest corners of the subcontinent, not to conquer, but just for a single glimpse of her. She was the heart of the kingdom, beloved by her people. But among her many admirers was one man who stood apart from the rest. He wasn't a prince or a king. He was a sorcerer, a tantric named Singya. He was a master of the dark arts, living in the hills overlooking the palace, his heart consumed by forbidden knowledge and a twisted obsession. From his perch, he watched Princess Ratnavati every day, and his admiration curdled into a dark, possessive love. He knew that by law and station, he could never have her. So he decided to take her by force, not with an army, but with magic. One day, the princess's maid was in the market, buying a special scented oil for her. Singha saw his chance. Using his dark powers, he secretly cast a powerful spell on the perfume, a love potion designed to bewitch Ratnavati and make her fall helplessly in love with him. To bend her will to his own, he imagined her running into his arms, surrendering her kingdom and herself to his control. But the princess was not just beautiful, she was clever. As the maid presented the oil, Ratnavati noticed something was wrong. Some accounts say she saw the sorcerer's reflection in the oil. Others say she sensed the dark energy clinging to the bottle. Realizing his wicked plan, she didn't just refuse it. In a moment of defiance, she threw the bottle to the ground. It didn't just break, it shattered against a massive boulder nearby. And then, the magic, twisted and denied its intended target, took on a life of its own. The boulder, now charged with the sorcerer's dark spell, began to move. It started to roll, slowly at first, then gaining speed, thundering down the hill, directly towards Singya, who was watching from afar. He had no time to escape. Just before the boulder crushed him, he used his final breath to lay down a curse born of pure spite and a broken heart. He screamed, "If I can't have you, no one will. This entire kingdom will be destroyed. Bhangarh will fall, and no soul, not a single one, will ever find peace or escape." Not long after his death, a shadow fell over Bhangarh. The sorcerer's final words began to poison the very land. Tragedy struck, swift and merciless. A devastating famine swept through the region. Crops that were healthy one day were found withered and dead the next morning. The rivers ran dry. Tenkamewa, a rival kingdom, sensing Bhangarh's sudden weakness, launched a brutal invasion. The battle was a massacre. The once mighty army of Bhangarh was annihilated. People said the sorcerer's curse was alive, an invisible plague, choking the life out of the kingdom from the inside. They claimed the very ground was cursed, turning against its own people. Within a single night, the entire bustling city was wiped out. It became a ghost town, its 10,000 residents vanishing from history. Some legends say you could hear the screams of soldiers echoing through the valleys, but their bodies were never found. Others tell a more haunting tale. They say a woman in bridal clothing was seen wandering the empty palace halls, crying inconsolably. A bride without a groom, a queen without a kingdom, trapped forever in her moment of loss. Today, Bhangarh Fort is a world-famous archaeological site, but it's more famous for its ghosts. Even in the bright light of day, tourists and paranormal investigators report deeply strange encounters. People feel sudden drops in temperature, even in the blistering Indian heat. They complain of shadows following them in their peripheral vision, only to disappear when they turn around. The most common report is the sound of footsteps echoing on the stone floors right behind them when no one is there. Or, more chillingly, the faint sound of a woman singing a mournful song, her voice seeming to come from deep within the citadel's sealed chambers. But it's after sunset that the fort truly earns its reputation. Locals swear that if you are brave or foolish enough to stay past dusk, you will hear Hertha weeping bride. The sounds of sobbing echo from the abandoned royal palace. Some say she is the spirit of Princess Ratnavati herself, forever grieving her lost kingdom and people. Others believe she is just one of the many tortured spirits trapped by Singhia's curse, destined to wander the ruins for eternity. And these aren't just stories. There are documented modern cases, adventurers and thrill-seekers who defied the warnings and stayed after dark. Some were found the next morning wandering outside the gates in a state of shock, alive, but rendered permanently unable to speak, their minds shattered by what they saw or heard inside. Local authorities and police actively patrol the area to ensure no one enters at night, not just for their safety, but perhaps to keep the fort's restless spirits from being disturbed. Would you dare walk into Bhangarh after sunset? What do you think is waiting in the dark? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the unknown.